Scorpios, welcome to your August forecast for love and romance, August 2019. This is a general reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. General, guys, emphasizing general. No need to get all hot and bothered if it doesn't resonate. Some of it may resonate, none of it may resonate, or may feel like it doesn't resonate, but I promise you, if Spirit has brought you here to this, there's at least one message in here for you. If you are not a Scorpio, you're an imposter and an intruder spying on us Scorpios. You are welcome to stick around and watch. But keep in mind, my darlings, that I do specific videos for cross-watchers. So if you want to continue the fun investigation work, you can check out the cross-watcher videos after this video. It's in the description. Let's see what is going on for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising in love and romance, August 2019. I feel like it needs one more shuffle here. One more shuffle here. I feel like some of you have been really focused on other things, but you're feeling like in a weird way, like obligated to focus on love or to get out there because you're telling yourself, okay, well, it's time I do this now, or it's a part of like being a healthy person or like whatever. So some of you might be kind of like looking at your love life as like, here's an area I'm gonna maybe put more attention into, but we'll see what the cards have to say. Your first card here is the High Priestess. You all know that I love her and I adore her. I also love this card. I really think this is a gorgeous depiction of the High Priestess. It's probably like my favorite High Priestess card from like all the different decks that I have and that you guys see on the channel. This is Major Arcana. Okay, this is interesting because all of the signs so far have had Major Arcanas coming up, or having Major Arcanas at like the foundation or the root of the month. So there's a lot happening here cosmically with the energy. Is a lot of times for growth and things of that nature. Like this is a crossroads, you're growing, you're learning, all that fun stuff. But when the Major Arcana cards come up in a love reading, it tells me that you're having a significant soulmate connection, that you have a contract with a person, that someone is coming in because you all have a contract. And then depending on what the card is, and I get a feel of what the contract is. And the High Priestess it's an interesting one. It's a very interesting one. It's a powerful one. Usually when I pull the High Priestess, it's someone who's going through like this awakening, or they're going through this really significant shift in their life where they're healing, or I'm not going to say they're healing. They've healed from a lot of things, and like the chakras are opening up and balancing, and their energy is flowing. So they're coming into confidence. Their intuition is like on point. They're really connected with their higher self. They're very confident. They're able to make intuitive decisions. And so they give off this really amazing energy that becomes very magnetic to other people. So Scorpio, many of you may sense and feel there's a lot of people that are wanting to be near you or wanting to be close to you. Or, you might have those moments where like you run to the store and you don't have makeup on, and you're in your sweatpants and you haven't like brushed your hair really, and people are just like flirting with you or trying to talk to you, like what in the heck is going on, right? Like you just might have a more magnetic energy. It could also be very intense, like chemistry, a relationship where there's very intense chemistry. But this is what I feel like is happening as far as soul contract coming in. Some of you are meeting like a spiritual equal, like a spiritual partner, somebody that like is really, really on your level or on your vibe. Because usually when I see the High Priestess, and I've said this in other readings, and those of you who watch me, you've heard me say it, you've heard me give the mermaid example. When the High Priestess is in her element and people are just wanting to be near you, they're wanting to get at you. People can kind of even like obsess about you, like borderline obsess about you a little bit, or like really, really be into you, and they might even pursue you very persistently. Like they're just pursuing you like crazy because they want to be near your energy. There's just like, you make them feel good, or you make them feel whatever it is, you make them feel hopeful or turned on or positive or healed or soothed or all of the above or whatever, and they just like want to be in your energy. But they're so busy chasing you, they haven't thought about what they're going to do when they catch you. Okay, and I always give the example of the mermaid. Like if there's a sailor on a ship and he spots a mermaid, right? Even if he gets in the little rowboat and, you know, drops it down into the sea and rows fast enough to catch up with the mermaid, once he's there, then what? Then what happens? Does he throw out an anchor and live there for the rest of his life to be near the mermaid? Does he scoop her up and take her back to shore and throw her in a giant fish tank and hope that she's going to be happy there? How do you work it out? Like how do you make it happen? Because you may be very like out of this world to this person. You may be very like unearthly to them in a way that's appealing to them. But once it comes into like the dynamic of the everyday relationship, they don't know what to do with you. Because they can't label you. They can't put you in a box. They don't know what the hell you are. They know they like you. They just don't know how you're going to fit in with their life. Also, because the high priestess is also very spiritual, right? And very like awakened, you know, there's going to be work here that they might have to do to be with you, right? And so this could be the thing, Scorpio. I'm sorry to say, I can hear some of you groaning already. You might just kind of be, you know, the carrot on the stick for like somebody who's living their life like a donkey, right? Like they're seeing you and like you're inspiring them, right? But this is going to be a free will decision. Are they going to do the work to be with you or not? That's going to be up to them. Time will tell. I'm sure the cards are going to let us know a little bit more about what's going to happen there in this scenario for sure. But this is kind of like the foundation here that's coming up for you. Like you guys are really on point with yourselves. And I said that like some of you are just really like in this energy where maybe you haven't been focusing too much on love because you've had all these other things that you're working on and you've been doing well, and you're like, okay, well maybe now I should give some attention to my love life. Maybe I should like, you know, focus on letting somebody in or dating or whatever. But you're like in this really like powerful high priestess energy. And so you need to keep this in mind, that you are going to be dealing with someone who maybe is not where you are right now spiritually. And this is not being said in a judgmental way. It is what it is. We're all like on different paths, different things. And so you have a contract with this person. You've basically come in like to kind of help activate them or open their eyes or help them make their connection and help them live their best life. Because when the high priestess comes up, we know you're living your best life, or you're at least on the path to really reaching your full potential. Like you're headed there. Your next card here is the World, another major arcana card. I'm telling you, it's raining major arcana this month with the love readings, at least, especially. I'll do the weekly forecasts for next week soon, and we'll see what the major arcana situation there is in the weekly forecasts. But you have the World coming up, Scorpio. So this is a card that something is coming to completion and you are ready to be seen. You are receiving a lot of exposure in some way. Okay, I feel that in this way. Something is happening where you're getting a lot of attention. Okay, and even like if we even like look at, you know, those of you who know how I read and you know that I like look at the messages in the card, like intuitively what they make me feel. Even if we look like at her, right, like she just seems to be really focused on something. She's looking ahead. She's holding these things in her hand, and she's like, there's like this movement, like this deliberate movement, right? She's kind of like in a place where she's being seen and she's being watched, but she's very focused on where she's headed or what she's doing. So I feel really strongly that you're gonna align with this person or meet with this person as you're working on your other goals. Like whatever it is that like you've kind of made your mission, you've set your sight on, you know, like maybe some of you are wanting to reach out and do more volunteering work and you're wanting to do good in the community, or you're getting really into like, you know, workshops to increase your intuition or your spirituality, and you're working on that stuff really intently and you're meeting the person in that way, or you're really focused on career and you're like, you know, really like putting work first or whatever, and you're meeting the person in that way. It's just, you're very focused. But whatever it is that you're doing something that's directly connected to your life purpose and soul path. Like you came here to do this. And because you're in your element, you're getting a lot of attention. Okay. For some of you, well, I don't know. I'm going to pull clarifiers. Before I say too much, I'm going to pull clarifiers. Why is the World card here for Scorpio? In what way will Scorpio experience the World card in the month of August 2019 as it pertains to love and romance? So, we have... Gosh, isn't that the work card? Yeah, it's definitely connected to work. You've got 8 of Pentacles. So you're like really busy fine-tuning something about your work or your career. Or 8 of Pentacles can also be study. So work or study that you're really, really focused on. Work or study, you're carving it out, you're perfecting it, you're learning everything there is to know, you're putting the final touches on things, you're giving it your all. And in this process, you're receiving recognition and aligning with somebody. But, yeah, we've got 10 of Wands. And, oh, wow, we've got Ace of Wands. So, you're like all in this like high priestess, like I can do it all, confident energy. And you're like having the contract of helping this person like connect with their spirituality. But you're so busy, you're doing all these things, you're 10 of Wands, right? And so you could have stress, you could be taking on a lot of things, and you keep telling yourself that you're badass and you can handle it. But 10 of Wands asks you to learn to delegate, or 10 of Wands asks you to receive assistance or a helping hand, right? You may have achieved many things, but it's almost like this person's coming in to kind of help you. And maybe for some of you, it's more of like an emotional support, or just somebody that you can, you know, if you are getting attention, a lot of attention, somebody that you can have quiet time with or hide away with or whatever it might be, or somebody who can come in and help you or give you ideas or help you physically in some way or help you with errands or whatever it is, in some way to come in and help you and maybe give you less things to worry about. I mean, the Ace of Wands is coming up here, so this is an offer that's being made to you, okay? Albeit when it's offer, it's not offer in terms of like forever. It's an offer in some way in the moment, here now, something for your life right now, here and now in this moment. Assistance, you know, it could be creativity, you know, a creative project together. Ace of Wands are also, you know, we know they're kind of like phallic, so it could be that kind of situation as well. But, you know, this is coming in some way, like to just kind of help you come more into the fire energy and less of like the, you know, the planned, organized, you know, work, study, work kind of mode here, right? So you're on this person's path to help them connect spiritually, and they may be on your path to kind of help you be in the here and now, you know, like just the more in the moment kind of stuff. Your next card here is, oh gosh, God help us, Scorpio. You have the Emperor. All right, I'm going to pull clarifiers around the Emperor. Emperor, you could be dealing with a fire sign, specifically in Aries. Not necessarily. You guys know that I don't like to get too hung up on the astrology of the cards because it's complicated. Sometimes it's not their sun sign. It could be their moon sign, their rising sign, their Venus. And most of us don't know all that. Most of us haven't done that hardcore detective work to figure all that out. We have to ask you CROSSWATCHERS. Some of you CROSSWATCHERS know all that. You have all that down. You've got the social security number, the blood type, the shoe size, the Venus rising, moon, you know, all of it. But not all of us know it, so I don't like to get too hung up on the astrology of the cards. But we're going to see, why is the Emperor here, and what way will Scorpio experience the Emperor in love and romance in August 2019. The reason why I said God help us is the Emperor is intense energy, okay? You could be dealing with a very strong-willed person who's also very used to being independent, okay? Like, you're the High Priestess and they're the Emperor. Those are two very powerful energies. Emperor is also somebody who's gonna require a lot of space and like a lot of like their time. Like they're kind of, you know, they can be very warm, they can be very passionate, they can be a confidant, they can be a great companion, but they're gonna require space. And Emperor always feels just a little emotionally distant. Like, you might have some really strong connections. You might have some really like bonding moments. But Emperor, I always say in some relationships, people are, you know, like fighting over who gets to drive. You know, with the Emperor, it's like, I'll meet you there. You go in your car, I go in my car, I'll meet you there. It's very autonomous energy. It's very independent energy. And it can be very passionate. And it can be very masculine. But, you know, this is not a traditional kind of person. And that's okay, because High Priestess isn't traditional either. But it can have its challenges. Oh, gosh. Okay, so I pulled the clarifiers. So now you have King of Cups. So yeah, it could definitely be going towards like marriage at some point. This could be a potential marriage partner or potential person to live with or move in with, because King of Cups here is like, you know, a marriage type card in a lot of readings. But we also, I just saw a flash. I don't know where that came from. We also have the Justice card, right? And we have the 10 of Pentacles. Oh gosh, so it's a lot of big energy. It's a lot of big energy. Okay, you have a lot of big energies. The High Priestess, the Emperor, the Justice card, the 10 of Pentacles. It's a lot of big energy coming in here. So with the Justice card, it's like you're gonna have to have balance, and there's gonna have to be fairness, right? Because you're dealing with the Emperor, you could be dealing with a person that you kind of have to remind time to time that, hey, I know some stuff too. Like, you know, you might be really smart. Because the thing with the Emperor is usually somebody who's like, they've traveled a lot. They've had a lot of experiences in their life. They've built their own empire. They've had failures. They've had big failures, but they've come back stronger every single time. So Emperor has a lot of experience. Anything there is to taste, touch, feel, experience under the sun, Emperor has experienced it all. So if Emperor tells you you don't want none of that, they know from their own personal experience, right? So the Emperor can be very opinionated. And you might just kind of feel like, well, wait a minute though here, like, I'm the High Priestess, you don't have to tell me everything all the time, or like, I know some stuff too. And with the Justice card, it's like finding that balance, finding that fairness, right? Also too, it could be a very like intense connection where you might be getting really carried away with it, and the Justice card could also be telling you, hey, you know, like, balance your heart and your mind. Don't get so freaked out by the intensity of the emotion that you turn yourself off and you're completely and totally cerebral about it the whole time, you know, or don't get so caught up in your emotions to where you're not thinking clearly or you're not using your logic, you know, balancing the emotional and mental considerations. There's also a sense of fairness here, you know, balance, equality, all that good stuff. 10 of Pentacles could also be, you know, again, that this is something that you've manifested, that you've called into existence, or you all have manifested one another. It could also indicate for some of you where there's a financially beneficial outcome of you all being together. So you may be going into business together, or you all may be inspiring each other, or you may be doing well in putting your money together and creating like stability for the future in that way. But there could just be something here with finances also for some of you with this person who's coming in. Your next card here is Page of Wands. So Page of Wands, it's going to mean different things to different people, and you have to excuse me or forgive me for going through the various scenarios. Some of you love it. I see it in the comments. You're like, yes, I love it. And some of you are like, you know, I've been called horrible names. But some of you have just like I hate it, or shut up, or just tell us one thing. I can't tell you one thing, you guys. I'm sorry. I can't. It's a general reading. There could be a couple thousand that watch the video. There could be tens of thousands who watch the video. It varies. And not every single person is going to have the same exact experience. There's no way in the world. So Page of Wands for some of you, it could be something happening with a child that's in the picture. If you have a child from a previous relationship, like that could be a factor. I just say that because the pages sometimes can indicate children. It could be for some of you, this person is viewing you as a child. Okay, since the Emperor is coming up, not as you and the other person, regardless of if you're dealing with a female or male, you're dealing with an older person, and even though it's an Emperor, yes, it could still be a female if some of you date, women, regardless of whatever you are. It's so complicated, whatever you identify as, but like, we all have masculine and feminine energies. The Emperor is just a very masculine energy person. But Emperor is also typically an older person, like somebody who's going to be older, like there could be an age difference. So they might kind of look at you as either young, or they just kind of might feel like you don't have the experience that they have, and that can be kind of the challenge in the relationship again. So it could be something that kind of comes up like a few times. But sometimes too with Page of Wands, it's like I call it my second adolescence card, so you just kind of might be getting this excitement, like, or this is the kind of connection where it feels very much like in your teens, like that giddiness, that excitement, like that crush, like when am I going to see them again? Oh my goodness, they talked to me. Oh my goodness, like they looked at me, like that silly like teenager kind of thing when things are new and exciting and we have so much zeal and enthusiasm, right? So it could be coming in where you have that zeal and enthusiasm romantically, and then it can be where also like you guys are just like excited again to like do new things together, like creative projects or things that you're passionate about, things of that nature, because the wands cards do have to do with passion all across the board. It's not just physical passion, it's creativity, it's just like things that you feel inspired by, or that you want to inspire others. It's just energy of creating. Some of you may be producing children, some of you may be producing projects, whatever it might be. There's just a lot being born from these very big energies that are coming together. Your next card here is the King of Pentacles. Sure enough, here you have it. And again, I don't focus on too much of the astrological things, but this could be an earth sign. This could be Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Although, like me personally, I always think of King and Queen of Pentacles more of a Taurus, because I associate the King and Queen of Pentacles of like being with the home. Like that's just me as a reader. Like that, I'm like tongue is getting tied. I associate it with home, and that's just me as a reader. It's not like a tarot thing. It's not like, oh, like you have to believe this. It's just kind of like the way I look at the cards, or the way I've experienced them in reading over the years. But yeah, so this could be very much like creating a home or establishing a business with this person, okay? I feel, again, because it's major arcana, you have a lot of big energies. This is definitely something that's coming in, and it's like a game changer in your life. And some of you are going to be very tempted to turn it away. Some of you are going to be very tempted to just like go back into like, I'm just going to keep my head down. I'm going to just keep doing what I was doing. I'm going to focus on my life, focus on my work, focus on my goals, whatever. Like, I don't know if I have time to get all caught up in all this like big stuff. Like, I thought I was just going to go on a couple of dates, and this is like turning into something really big, and it could be challenging you, and it could be scaring you, and you may be tempted to run off into like your safety zone or like your little bubble. But the thing I always say with King of Pentacles is it signifies an offer, right? Like an investment, like a stability. So it could be like a very comfortable home life. It could be like a business or something of that nature, or the two things combining. But it's usually something very big. It's a big offer. And you're like tempted to turn it away. You're tempted to say, oh, well, no, like this is great and all, but like you must have me mistaken, or you must, be looking at the situation wrong or whatever. But people aren't going to offer you something willy-nilly. Like if they're offering you something, they have a pretty good idea of, who you are, right? So even like in a work situation, but we're looking at this in a love situation. So my whole message with King of Pentacles is it might be an offer that feels a little intimidating to you, or it feels like really big or more than what you were looking for. It might have started out one way, and then it kind of like really, I don't want to say spirals because that sounds negative, but it just snowballs, or it picks up momentum, and it becomes much bigger than what you were kind of looking for initially. But the thing with King of Pentacles is it's an offer that, it's a big offer, but if you weren't ready for it, it wouldn't be here now. Like that's That's what you need to know. Like, it's going to have its challenges. It's going to have things that make you feel out of your comfort zone. But if you weren't ready for it, it wouldn't be here now. It's here because you're ready. Do with it what you will. It's up to you. You have free will. All right. But this isn't going to be a cut and dry situation for Scorpios. And obviously, these are really big energies. So it's not like all of this is going to happen in August, like in one big little bundle. It's maybe starting and carrying through the next few months. But there's a very significant big energies coming in love life for Scorpio. You know, for sure over the summer, but a lot of it could be like starting in August. So, my darlings, I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Be sure to watch your weekly forecasts. Some weeks those are gonna resonate with you a lot because it's things other than love. It's like you and your personal journey. And sometimes we get so caught up in love, we forget about the other, you know, parts of our life. So check that out. And always watch your moon sign and rising sign videos, whether it's the love videos or the weekly forecast. Those are also very helpful as well. They could resonate more, give you a little extra information. And the daily messages every single day on Facebook and Instagram. So I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. If you would like a private reading, go ahead and click on the Calendly link. Wishing you a fabulous August, Scorpio. Take care.